This was meant to be Mexico City's safest metro line. What went wrong? To understand, we need to go back to before it was built. 2007. Mexico City's metro system is serving a daily average of 4 million passengers across 11 lines, placing itself firmly within the top 5 busiest metro networks in the entire world. The head of government of Mexico City, Marcelo Ebrard, announces the opening of a brand new line. It is planned to run primarily underground with 3 stations on the surface, but later 9 elevated stations are added. A large part of this section is built by Grupo Carso, a company with no prior experience in railway construction. 2008 to 2012. The project experiences delays from the get-go, with complications on the elevated section as multiple columns sink before testing even begins. During testing, 10,000 sleepers are found to be damaged from vibrations, and trains are having to reduce their speeds to as low as 5 km per hour to avoid damaging the tracks on certain sections. The director of the metro system, Francisco Bojorquez, advocates for rubber tires as a safer alternative, but is denied by an internal labor commission in favor of the cheaper steel wheels. The line is also originally designed with 170-ton Bombardier train cars in mind, but in the end, the wider 240-ton FE10 cars are used instead. No review of the structure calculations was made in preparation for this change. In October of 2012, Ebrard inaugurates the line with thousands of unfinished tasks, and with the following words on the ceremony. Today, we are proud to deliver this project to the people of Mexico City, a complete project, completed with the most advanced technology in the world. Later he also added, it was put into operation with the certification of one of the most important international consortiums in the world. 2014. The elevated section is closed for 20 months as technical and structural faults are found. 33 officials, including the director of the Line 12 project, face sanctions as a result. Ebrard's successor, Miguel Ángel Mancera, calls for an independent investigation, which concludes that errors were made in virtually every stage of the line from planning to operation. The proposals for fixing the issues fall on deaf ears. In 2017, the Puebla earthquake shakes Mexico and damages Line 12's overpass, leading to another temporary closure on the eastern section. Experts recommend a comprehensive inspection, but instead only patchwork fixes are applied, and the line is reopened quickly. Following the earthquake, residents noted visible cracks in the structure, as well as the unnatural movement of the bridge as trains passed by. The complaints only led to some of the columns being repaired. On the 3rd of May, 2021, the overpass reaches its limit. After sunset, business is as usual, until a girder fails beneath a train traveling eastbound. After a power failure is indicated on the control panel, the driver, Rodrigo Garcia, activates the emergency brakes, and the train comes to a stop after barely entering the Olivos station. Garcia's first action is to make his way to a signal phone to report the event to a regulator. I inform you, I see the presence of smoke. I see that there are people leaving the train. Okay mate, go calm down and talk to the people. Garcia makes his way alongside the train, reassuring passengers by shouting through the windows. There was a power outage, calm down. We are going to evacuate you right now. He finds the station master also helping with evacuation, who tells him his train derailed. Together, they manually open all the doors. The station master leaves to further inform authorities. This is when Garcia noticed that the last 2 cars were gone, and what he thought was smoke was actually dust. It dawned on him that the situation was much worse than he imagined. After the station master asks for permission, the 2 of them make their way into the 5th car, where they encounter injured and unconscious people. They come across an arm, but not a body that it belonged to. There was also a man who stayed behind to look after his wife. "Stay with her, support her, don't move from there. Don't leave her," Garcia told the husband. A young boy said to Garcia, "My friend stayed behind in the other car." Which car? The one that fell. Garcia and the station master decide to inspect the fallen cars. There, they shout, "Is anyone there?" They hear screaming and slamming back, but they are unable to help in fear that the structure may further collapse. As the painfully long minutes pass by, relatives began hearing of the accident through media, and the screams slowly fade into the ringtones of unanswered calls. The collapse ends up claiming the lives of 26 people, making it the deadliest accident of the metro since 1975. Claudia Scheinbaum, the head of government of the city, is at the site of the accident the same night of the collapse, confirming casualties firsthand.
Lamentablemente también hay 20 personas fallecidas hasta el momento.
She orders Norwegian firm the Norske Veritas to investigate the causes of the collapse. But before they can release anything, journalists from the New York Times publish an article. They point to a series of errors originating from planning. They also note that the line was built hastily, as Eberhard's administration was nearing its end. Scheinbaum criticizes the article, while on the other hand, Eberhard blames the collapse on a lack of maintenance. The finger-pointing begins, and both Scheinbaum and Eberhard hope that the DMV report will paint them in a better light. So does it? In the months following the collapse, DMV releases the first and second part of the report. Unfortunately for the politicians, their findings are much the same, if not worse. For starters, the placement of the reinforcing steel doesn't match the original plans, and is outright missing in some places. The number of Nelson studs installed are also fewer than the number indicated in the design. These bolts are widely used and specifically designed to be welded onto other metal parts, in this case the steel supports of the girders, which hold the concrete slabs in place. Throughout the structure, the studs are in uneven positions, despite the construction plans indicating precise gaps. What's worse is their welding quality. When cleaned with a soft brush, the weld's weaknesses are apparent, especially when compared to the manufacturer's specifications. Tension and hardness tests further confirm the low quality of the welds, when some of them fail at a load as little as 25% of the minimum requirement. The third part of the report would have included recommendations for fixing and strengthening the line, but it was held back from being released. Scheinbaum considers the report as deficient, poorly produced, biased and false. She thinks the report serves the interest of opposition parties and goes as far as to launch a civil lawsuit against the DMV. The firm holds firm, but in the end, their findings are rejected by the city government. The reason for Scheinbaum's disapproval of the last report became clear when a Spanish newspaper leaked it. The contents cited a lack of maintenance on top of the construction errors. Other investigations, such as the one conducted by FGJCDMX, or the more pronounceable Attorney General's Office of Mexico City, reached similar conclusions. An independent investigation by the College of Civil Engineers of Mexico found other parts of the elevated section to exhibit the same problems. At this point, the public voice is anonymous. It was negligence that led to the deaths of 26 people. 90% of those affected are compensated by Carso in a deal to not pursue legal action. The city and the metro also compensate the families of those who lost their lives. And while the line can be reconstructed, the lives and the trust are gone. Despite the visibly massive reinforcements, ridership after the full reopening in early 2024 is 66% of what it used to be in 2019. Will the city ever regain the trust of its citizens? Or will the wounds beneath the steel band-aids remain forever?